more. We're going to find out more about the families behind some of your Ole Miss baseball national champions. Behind every one of your favorite players, there's probably a mom who was their biggest fan. And today we get to talk to Susanne Graham. She is the mother of Kevin Graham, Ole Miss Infielder, number 35. So, hey, Susanne.
Oh, hello, Rebecca.
It's congratulations, I think, is in store, right? You earned that national championship.
Well, it was. They all earned it, and it's just unreal, and can't hardly explain what it felt like. But yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Well, I love this part of reaching out, and I actually saw a post of a mutual friend of ours talking about all the Ole Miss baseball moms, or many of them, were all sitting together, rallied around in Omaha, watching it all unfold. And I thought to myself, man, we forget about the parents who have been there with their prospective players since maybe T-ball and going through the travel ball, and what this journey can feel like for them. So tell us a little bit about Kevin's baseball journey. Did he start off in T-ball when he was a little tot?
Well, he did. My husband and I were both working a lot, and I had to have a commitment from my father that he would start taking him. But he actually started really young at 4 years old, and my dad took him to all the practices and games, and he got started really young. But my dad played in the major leagues for 7 years, so he had some experience and helped him along the way. So it was great.
At what point were you guys started looking at colleges with through the lens of maybe playing baseball? At what age was Kevin?
Well, I come from a very athletic family, so I have to be honest and say that you always hope. And, my brothers played, and, we all played sports. So I kind of always was hoping and thinking that he'd be able to play in college. But at what level, nobody really knows. But his dream has always been to play D1 baseball and play in the SEC.
And so he got that there at Ole Miss. Now, at home for you guys is St. Louis. So how did Kevin end up choosing Ole Miss for his college experience?
Well, interesting. Brett Huber was his summer travel team coach, and Brett was the all-time saves at pitching here. Reliever here, sorry. And so, of course, once you come to Ole Miss, you definitely are hooked and want to go to school here. So Brett talked it up very much, but when he showed up on campus and looked, he loved it and wanted to come here. Probably one of the most things, too, is Kevin's always loved having a crowd and fans. So even in high school, he'd say, who's all going to the game today? So a lot of kids are probably more shy and nervous and don't want to play in the crowd. I'm going to say all these kids playing in the national championship all wanted to be there and loved having the crowd behind them.
And a big crowd you had there in Omaha. And what a roller coaster season. One thing I do love about Kevin's story is I've heard that him and two other buddies decided to come back and play for their senior year because they wanted to have that chance to make a run at Omaha. So this is even more special for him. And what a roller coaster season. So give us kind of the behind the scenes view of what it was like for the family. I mean, what an emotional ride you guys had over the last, several months.
Definitely a roller coaster. I will say our background, not being a really wealthy family, Kevin turned down high third round draft, and I know Tim and Justin also turned down the draft, and they've been roommates now for 3 years. Kevin has always said that he wants to bring a national championship to Ole Miss, but to Oxford, and that Oxford deserves a national championship. So, how you look at things, and on paper, our offense and our things look that, we were even ranked number one, that we should be there. And then to go to not even knowing if we're going to make the NCAA tournament was, yes, definitely a roller coaster.
So as a mom, I mean, I can empathize here, even though I only have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. How do you have those phone calls with your devastated son or your son and his friends who are, super disappointed? What do you say? Chin up or hold on to hope?
When they get older, it's hard to, as a mom, to say too many things because, we might say the wrong thing when they're playing at this level. But, I always say when Kevin's doing well, he doesn't really need his mom. It's actually the days that they fail that they really do need their parents.
And that's always good to have to fall back on. I know that's always guys were there. You were there for the whole thing. So when they started to get on
Yeah.
their streak, what was that like? I mean, I know it's nail biting for all the fans back home or who made the trip to Omaha, but it's so much different for the families who know every, batting practice, every baseball game, every skint knee that sort of went into that moment.
It is. And it really is tough on parents just traveling. And I actually went, and I always say, I don't know if anybody else has ever done this, but I actually went to every game last year and didn't miss one. So all 67 games. And, there were definitely games and driving everywhere that wasn't much fun. But you always enjoy watching your kid play.
It looks like there was a pack of moms there in Omaha, Ole Miss moms. Did you guys all sit together? Did you have any rituals, routines? Did some of you just not change your shirt or socks? I mean, what was the secret sauce?
I hate to admit this because I do. I'm very superstitious at times. And, my son will say, when will you learn, Mom, that it's not anything that you do that helps me perform? And I always laugh and go, oh, yes, it does. It's all me. So I actually, when we started to get on a streak wearing the same shirt and shorts, I did wash them every time, just so everybody knows. But I had to wear an outfit that I probably didn't like that much every game once we started that winning streak. And then I changed the outfit once when we lost in Omaha. So everybody yelled at me that I had to go back to wearing that same outfit. So.
Well, you know what?
I think I'm going to retire it for sure now.
I think I've heard with baseball, it's not that you're superstitious, you're just a little stitious. And so if whatever works, whatever sort of keeps the mojo going and calms the nerves, I think is really cool. This has to be up there at the pinnacle of watching your son Kevin Graham, out there on the diamond doing his thing, winning a national championship. But there has to be other highlights throughout baseball that you as a mom just sat back and can go straight to in your memory. What are some of those other magic moments throughout his career that led him here?
I think like anything, we always enjoy watching our kids perform in a sports and come from an athletic family. But really the whole journey along the way has just been exciting, and I just can't explain how much joy you get out of watching your child perform in any sport. But for them to be able to play at a high level in the SEC and Ole Miss to come back the way they did, that's something that none of us will ever forget. And so, all the games along the way are exciting, but definitely being in Omaha with 25,000 fans, and by the way, I believe 20,000 had to at least be Ole Miss. So it really felt like we were at a home game. And I know all the kids love the support, and that meant a lot to them. So I think we think sometimes that cheering doesn't make a difference, but I want to tell everybody it does make a difference. It helps the kids very much on being supportive and being there for them.
I also read a good take, too, Susanne, that, you as parents, especially with kids playing at this level, you too get on Facebook or Twitter and you get to see what people's opinions are about your children or the team, or when it's going good, when it's going bad, or whatever it may be. How do you guys as a family kind of help, keep the noise out, focus on the positive, or help them sort of navigate this kind of stardom at the moment in a social media world?
Well, I think the coaches here at Ole Miss are great, and they try to teach the kids too is stay off the social media. I know at times they do get on social media. It's almost impossible anymore. But early on, I think I got a taste of something when Kevin's first picture, he got a first pinch hit or something, and somebody said something about, what are we doing having that little kid out there playing? So he looked very young, and so it doesn't take long, and people are going to make their comments, and you just have to be a little bit more thick-skinned and to let some things bother you. But I will say I've been tested a few times that I've almost lost it, but luckily I didn't. My dad, playing in the big leagues, talked about riders and different things that might be against you, and a lot of times you just have to tune it out. So if you could get upset about everything that everybody says, it sure wouldn't be much fun competing then.
No, but it's so much sweeter when you come home with the trophy, though, Miss Suzanne. Hey, you have to promise me. I'm sure y'all will frame his uniform of some capacity, the number 3 there with Ole Miss. Will you frame your outfit that you wore that got them there?
I laughed. Thank you, Rebecca. I laughed and said I was going to burn it. Couldn't wait. But somebody said, no, you got to keep it and make a baby blanket out of it or something. So,
yes, you got to keep it.
I haven't gone that far yet, but.
Well, congratulations. Mississippi's proud of Kevin and all his friends and all his teammates. And kudos to you and the family, too. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.